Hi, Warren Rehn here, President and CEO of Gold Minerals Company. And we're at the Metals Investor Forum in Vancouver, BC, Canada today. I'm excited to be out and about. There's investors coming in to talk. It's our first in-person meeting since the pandemic. So you can imagine just how excited we are about it. Gold Minerals is recently a gold producer, a gold and silver producer in Mexico. We recently got back into production early this year and have had great success with our Rodeo mine in Durango State, Mexico. We've had a great run up and very good production results, and really pleased to be here to talk to you today.
Really good to see you, Warren. Saw you back at the end of August, and I just wanted to speak to you because you're right. It's the first live conference of the year. You're physically there. What are you hoping to get out of it?
We usually get quite a bit of investor interest at these. There's a mix between retail and institutional, more on the retail side. But as you know, the Canadian retail is pretty excited about the mining industry, especially now that we're seeing prices go back up. We're seeing quite a bit of interest from the retail crowd.
Right, and I think with the Fed making their announcement this week around inflationary measures, Goldman Sachs making statements about where they see gold going next year, it's a good time to be talking gold again.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's really bullish from my point of view, and I'm not alone in that.
Well, I bet. So again, you put out a press release recently, 20 meters, 8.2 grams. That's pretty good. That's very different from what we've been seeing for a while from you, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was a really an excellent intercept from the drilling. So that was from the RC drilling that we finished up in October at the Rodeo deposit. We were looking for near pit expansion opportunities, and that particular high grade interval is just below the previously planned pit. And so it shows that the high grade zone continues substantially more than we had thought in our resource estimate prior to starting up. So we're pretty excited about that. We've also seen extensions to the north and south on some parallel structures that also we think will be able to be included in the pit with a small expansion. So it's very favorable for extending the mine life at Rodeo. Perhaps not by multiples, but certainly incrementally and important for us.
So is the plan still holding together? It's kind of like a bit of, so I'm going to get to a little bit of an end of year roundup with you here. We talked about the plan a few times during the year in terms of the sequencing of the projects and assets. You're now a producer. Is that now feeding into an expanded exploration program for you? Is that why you're sort of seeing the benefits of being able to hit 8.2 grams now?
Yeah, having the income, actually, the cash flow to be able to do the necessary step out drilling was really important. It was key. And so it's a balance between you're making money and you need to spend a bit of money to make some more money. And realizing that, certainly in the case of Rodeo, it's really low hanging fruit to get some near pit expansions. And so that's what we've been focusing on. And we're able to do that, strictly because of the cash flow from the production, without going to the equity markets.
Obviously, we're not at the end of the year. I know that, but you put out your third quarter numbers last week. Do you want to give us the quick highlights of that? Because I want to see where this thing's going and what your expectations are for 2022. Yeah,
we had great revenue from the mine. We had $8.5 million US revenue from the quarter, with about 4.2 million in net operating margin, basically, which it translated to a fairly small net profit for the company, but that's because we were spending on the exploration side at the same time. But it was our first profitable quarter ever from mine production. And even though the profit was about $500,000 US net of all spending, I'm really pleased because it validated our plan to become a profitable producer, and we can continue from here. So the mine is ticking along very, very nicely. We're running at about 500 tons per day through the mill. We're increasing the recovery for gold. We've got some things optimized at the plant. And we think the grade, we had a very high grade average in Q3, around 4 grams per ton. We'll drop down a little bit, but with a higher recovery, we should stay about equal in terms of net operating revenue.
Right, and so let's talk about. Look, I appreciate you got to put out the fourth quarter numbers at the beginning of next year. So it's maybe I'm a little bit previous here, but gives a sense of the comfort that you've got from getting into production. You started this optimization program. Do you think your expectations for 2022 are more deliverable as a result of what you've been seeing?
Oh yeah, we've de-risked it almost entirely, Matt. We know what the resource looks like now. No, it's really running exactly as we'd planned. The resource model that we have is spot on for the most part. There was a couple pleasant surprises in terms of getting more mineral, like the 8 grams of 20 meters of 8 grams that we just reported, and then the extensions to the north and south. So yeah, I'm very comfortable that we'll continue on and do better than planned in terms of mine longevity. We're still looking at the upper end of the 12,000 to 14,000 ounces gold produced in 2021, and very similar targets for 2022, which we'll put out with our 10K in Q1 of 2022. So yeah, things are very good and much more comfortable now than before. We're always very happy with the mine. It's a very, very nice, easy to put in production mine that runs well. We've got a great team, and we've definitely de-risked it, and I'm very comfortable going forward.
So in light of what I think most people are expecting for gold in 2022, you're sitting on a big portfolio of assets. And I know you focused on 3 initially, but will you be looking to offload anything? I mean, or in terms of whether that be through some kind of farm-in or sale, to enable you to kind of get really focused in on the projects which you want to be spending time on now? Well,
yeah, it's a good question, Matthew. We're definitely proceeding with the sale of the Santa Maria asset that we have in Chihuahua, Mexico. So this price environment has enabled us to sell some of the non-core assets, such as Santa Maria. We'll continue to look at that. We're drilling now at Yoquivo in Chihuahua. We'll see how that goes. We've had some interesting looking drill intercepts. It's a matter of waiting for assays. And of course, we're progressing in Argentina, both at the Sarita Este project and by virtue of Barrick's drilling on our El Quevar asset. So yeah, there's quite a lot of opportunity to potentially have some additional farm-ins and really focus on the Velardeña story and look for additional longer-term, larger assets for the company.
What a different place it is at the end of the year. If you remember the start of the year when we first talked, there were a lot of deliverables that needed a lot of attention. The market has not been brilliant in 2021 for precious metals, but it seems to be finishing off with a flourish. Who are you? Right. So thanks for the update. We'll catch up in the new year, I'm sure. Now you're in production, your options are different. But who are you there with? Who's the team?
So I'm here with our investors relation lead, Karen Winkler.
Hey, well, it was just a quick catch up. Thanks very much for taking the call. Just want to see what things were like down there. It's one of the it's like first physical conferences of the year. So which is great news. You've got meetings set up. I guess you'll be walking the corridors and pressing the flesh. So have fun. Hope it goes well. And we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you, Matthew. Great to catch up. And thanks for catching up with us here at the Metals Investor Forum.